For all my SoCal brides to be, here are all the vendors I booked for my wedding and what I thought of working with them. First of all, it was a magical day, 10 out of 10 time of my life. I would describe myself as a type A light bride. So while there are certain things I really cared about, there are also things where I was like, I don't care, get the cheapest option. The one thing that I personally wanted to invest in, since they say you have to choose your battles with your wedding planning, was the venue. So due to the larger head count of our wedding, we ended up booking the Pavilion at Calamigos Ranch in Malibu. It's one of the fewer venues in the LA area that can accommodate as many people as we were hosting. It was unfortunately also one of the first venues we visited, and it was so beautiful. It ruined every other venue after that. Besides that though, my biggest bone to pick with Calamigos is how strict they are on the food and beverage caterers. They require you to use their own providers, which I'll get into in the next video. On the bright side though, I think of what also helped pull our venue together and make it so stunning and beautiful was our florist. We went with Momi from Spacey Floral. She's also a good friend of mine and also now a bride to be. She was super collaborative, very reasonable prices for what we were asking for, because I wanted a hanging altar piece of blue and white flowers for the ceremony area. She literally brought a ladder to climb into the tree to hang the flowers and then get all cleaned up to be a guest at my wedding. Literally, I don't think another florist would have done that without charging me for my left kidney, but she has a really fun and eccentric style, so I went with very classic colors, blue and white, because I'm a summer mute girly, and she found a way to make it still feel very playful. She was collaborative and reusing pieces from our ceremony area in the reception area, which helped us save some cost. Lastly, for our planner, we went with Amy from White Blossom Events because we got a recommendation from a friend who had used her. She is super well versed in the Christian Korean SoCal girly weddings, if you know what I mean. So all the vendors she knows, she works with that are typical for a lot of Korean weddings, I feel like. Because of that, she's also super aware of cultural norms, especially with having older Korean Christian relatives at the wedding, which we had many, and she could speak in Korean to all of my husband's family, which was really sweet since it was predominantly English speaking wedding. We got the partial wedding package, so we ended up booking a lot of our own vendors. We kept a lot of our own timelines and did have to follow up on some things, but oh my gosh, she saved our lives in a number of ways. The most important for me being anything that we needed for the venue the day of the wedding. All of our printables, our napkins that we ended up buying, the bubble guns and bubbles for the grand exit, all of that stuff she let us ship to her house, and she prepared and brought it. Our table assignment cards ended up being little custom candy boxes. She helped us buy cheap bulk acrylic boxes and bulk candy from Amazon, custom printed all of the stickers with the table assignment numbers, and assembled it all by hand and brought it to the venue. Literally, that would have taken us so many hours. I cannot thank her enough. Anyways, I know this was long. Follow along for part 2 where we get into food and drinks.